Yes, sure.
So good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another interview of The Shield Doing a Couch. Today I'm joined by Nicholas Leptos. He's the lead singer from the band Arrayan Path, which is a power metal band from Cyprus, and they're about to release their ninth album, which is coming out on December 9th, and we're here to talk about it. And first of all, Nicholas, how are you today?
I'm okay, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So this is the band's ninth album, but I was reading that it is your first concept album. Uh, how did you decide, like after eight albums, like, hey, let's tackle a concept album?
Well, we had concept albums in the past, but they were not chronological. Like it was thematic, kind of,
Mhm.
like our album Stigmata or Archegony or even the last album, The Marble Gates to Apiron, kind of thematic. But this one is a story, so it has it's chronological. So it starts, song one is the beginning of the story, last song is the end of the story, kind of like that.
Yeah, and it tells
So
the tale of King
it's the first
Evagoras.
time we do it like that.
Okay, so who was
Elaboras,
King?
yes, yes.
Yeah, who was King Evagoras, and why did you want to talk about this type of concept in a chronological order? Like, how did you decide to do that as a band?
Well, to start from your last question, it was because it's the history of our country. Uh, we're from Cyprus, and we never written about Cyprus in the past. I mean, never touched those subjects, the history subjects of our country. So I think it was about time. And King Evagoras, he was one of the most important kings in our history. He was a king of Salamis. There were 10 kingdoms back then in the ancient times. And Salamis was probably the most important one, the most powerful one. So Evagoras was the king of Salamis. And basically the story is about he's coming back to he's becoming, they're under Persian rule.
Mm,
Because Cyprus is small, they're always under somebody, They're always uh, like the Greece, it was Persia, it was Assyria, it was Egypt. It was always some larger country ruling Cyprus, the island.
okay,
So
so
in our story, it's Persia. Yes. So it's basically his story and how he manipulated when he was a king. He manipulated his position, important and strong state, kingdom.
okay, so when you were doing the story, how important was it to you, the chronological order of the story? Like, did you use like books? What did you use to to be as accurate as possible with this story?
Books. uh, I, I read to not Wikipedia.
No, 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 kids.
I
Go
had a
real
few
books.
books anyway. No, so I wanted to be as accurate as possible. Yeah, you can change a few things, add some things. No one will care. But history, it's important to be accurate.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I
you
read some books and yeah.
okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna show the artwork of the upcoming album so people can see it. So this is the artwork for the album. It's called Thus Always To
Mhm,
Tyrants. So yeah, this is some great artwork, and you can tell the
mhm.
epic battles that are going around here. So who worked on this cover art?
This was a work of
Yes.
Yannis Nakos. from
Okay.
Remedy Art Designs, and he's a guy he did our previous album as well, the Marble Gates to Apiron. He's a very cool guy. He's very cooperative, and we wanted to work with him once again. Basically, we didn't really give him too many guidelines because he doesn't like to work with too many guidelines. So I just told him like the story in brief, you know, and sent him a few links, and he came up with this basically.
Yeah, no, it's a great cover artwork, and it's very power metal, and it goes with the themes of the record. So,
Yes.
so for you working on this album, being a concept album and chronological concept album, like, what for you was the hardest song to work on this album for you?
You mean lyrics?
Lyrics or music? Yeah, it could be both.
Wow, the hardest song. Well, I think the first song is always the hardest because you have to choose something. You know, it's the first song that somebody's going to listen to, so you need to impress them or you know, add some cool lyrics or some cool melodies. So the song "Oh Dark Tears" was probably the hardest one to sing, and the hardest one to record, and probably the hardest one to write lyrics for.
Okay, because do you think it was harder because you were starting the story, so you really want to start the album with something that grabs the listener's attention? So maybe that's why do you think it's the hardest?
Yes, exactly. It's always, you know, strategically, all the songs are strategically
Yeah.
Placed on the CD. And, you know, the first song is always, you know, like the attention grabber. So, you know, some people put their hits on the fourth or fifth song. I think that's wrong because, you know, it's very risky that somebody might be tired, and by the time he gets to number 4 or 5. So we always put the really catchy ones at the beginning.
Yeah, plus you always also want to have like a very strong closer, like a opener and a closer are very important. So the story of this king, when did you decide like I'm gonna do the story of this king? Like, was it like an unanimous vote for the band, or you just thought it's time for us to talk about the history of our country?
Well, I had it in my head for a while. Like a few years, it was just thoughts playing in my head, but I didn't take it seriously until right after the release of our previous album. You know, when you decide to take it seriously, then you put everything down and see how it goes. That's where you understand if this is going to work or not. And I think it was a very, very strong story because sometimes you want to write about somebody, but you see that the story is not very strong. There's not many things happening. Where in this case, it wasn't like that. So it was a
Okay.
strong story, and that's why I want to do it.
Yeah. For you, is it harder to write concept albums or than albums that are more like themed, or do you have a preference when it comes to doing concept albums?
Actually, this one, it was easier than I thought. I mean, I thought it was going to be hard because, you know, you have to follow the story up to a certain point for each song. So each song has to have, from the beginning, before you even finish the song, you have to know this song is going to be about only this part of the story. So you know that if your song is 4 minutes long, you have to fit this part of the story into 4 minutes. So if it's a
Yeah, no, yeah.
Long story. I mean, if it's a long part of the story, you have to have big verses and big, so you can fit all the lyrics and tell the story. I don't know. It worked for me. It worked for me well.
Okay. So I'm guessing in the future you might do more concept chronological albums about Cyprus.
Well, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, we have a few ideas in our head about Cyprus, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So I'm guessing, Nicholas, that you like concept albums. What are your favorite concept albums of all time?
Sorry, I'm a bit sick.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I really love the King Diamond albums.
Yeah, those are good.
Um, the trilogy of Abigail, them, and Conspiracy. With Conspiracy is my favorite one, and I think, of course, Operation Mindcrime. I'm not sure what else. The Rhapsody albums, they had a story, but I wasn't really following the story. I know it's like a
Okay.
10-album story, but
Yeah,
I
it could be hard
wasn't
to
really
follow
following
10
it. I was
albums of
just
stories.
listening to the songs. But yeah, yeah. But the King Diamond albums were the beginning for me of the concept album, this thing.
Okay, so what's next for Arrayan Path? I know you're releasing the album on December 9th. Are you gonna do some touring on the new year?
Uh, Actually, we haven't played a live show for 4 years. So we need to, we started rehearsing just now. So we're probably not going to be ready for another 2-3 months for a live
Okay.
show.
Yeah, you gotta get all
Because
the
we have 9
cobwebs.
albums, we have like a million songs to choose from. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
plus I'm guessing
So
that. Mhm.
probably around February, maybe probably around February, we'll be ready to play our first live show after 4 years.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that since this is a concept chronological album, uh, like, do you have like a plan to play the album from front to back in a chronological order?
It would be great, but the
Yeah,
album is like 65 minutes.
yeah, yeah. It's an hour in length. Yeah.
So that would make our set 3 hours.
Well,
I
you
don't
could
know.
play
For
that
now,
album in
no,
just the
but
hits.
maybe, yeah, maybe
Yeah. So,
we could. But
yeah.
for now, we want, because we haven't played for 4 years, we want to come back and play. By the way, we haven't played any live show for our previous album, Marble
Yeah, because that one came out
Gates
right in the
to Apple.
pandemic.
So we need to kind of, yeah. So we kind of promote 2 albums. So it's hard to play the whole album, but for the moment we'll play like hits from these 2 albums, plus sorry, songs from these 2 albums and hits from our previous albums. And then maybe in the future, why not? If it
Yeah.
proves to be a really successful album, we might try it. Yeah.
Yeah, but makes sense. You haven't been playing for 4 years, so you want to play a little bit of everything, and plus this album is new, so you need to rehearse. So yeah, makes sense, but maybe sometime in the future. So, Nicholas, now that we're almost at that
Yes.
end of the year, like, what was your favorite albums of this year in 2022 that you were listening to?
Hmm. I was just checking my list today, actually, in the morning. Uh, I think I decided that my favorite album is by Threshold. You know the band Threshold?
Oh, Threshold, yeah, yeah, they're from UK. They released,
Threshold.
yeah, they released a great album, yeah.
Dividing Lines, I think it's called. It's amazing, amazing. That's my
That's your favorite album of
My
the year.
favorite one
Nice.
for the year.
Yeah, I have a
Mhm.
friend that actually did a review of that album, and I didn't know the band, and I listened to it. Yeah, and they're very great progressive metal band, and I realized that they've been around for years, and I didn't know them. So, uh, Nicholas, it's been great,
Yeah, you
chatting
should
with you
also
about.
check the previous album. It's also great.
Yes, I'm gonna check it out. It's been great talking to you about your upcoming album, and hopefully people will dig it. Thus Always To Tyrants comes out on December 9th, and they can also check out the previous release that was released like 2 years ago. So, where can people like? Can they? Are you gonna have like physical copies, or like CDs and vinyl for this one for now?
Yes, well, vinyl we don't know yet because uh, it's kind of the duration is large. So
Yeah,
if we manage to, it's got to be a double vinyl. So if we
yeah,
manage to like reach an agreement with the vinyl companies that it's kind of risky. So if
yeah.
we reach an agreement and do it, I think we will. Yeah, CDs definitely. They just arrived today actually, and it's of course the platforms or the digital platforms. It's all there, and you can contact the band. You can contact the label. It's Bandcamp
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, I'll put the links in the description box so people can, pre-order or know where they can listen to the new Arrayan Path album. So, Nicholas, I'll let you go. So, hopefully, get better soon, so you can go out there and
Uh,
perform. And yeah,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
yeah. So
Thank you for the
people are,
interview. Thank you for the
yeah,
support, man.
yeah, of course. So people, Arrayan Path new album coming out in December 9th. Check it out for you lovers of power metal and history. If you like power metal and history and concept albums, you will dig this album. So Nicolas, get better, and hopefully you'll be touring soon, and people will get to listen to these albums in a live setting. So until next time, people, this is
Thank you,
Hector,
man. Thank you, man.
the Shield Dude in a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.